What's up, vlogging fam jam? No, I won't do that. So, this is day 3 of my 31 days of vlogging every single day of the month of January, or I'm trying to anyways. So, unfortunately, some days I'm just gonna have to be sitting and talking to you like this. I would love to show you party videos every day, but I just can't possibly party for 31 days in a row. I might die. So I guess today I'm just gonna talk to you about something that's one of my biggest pet peeves, and I hope this isn't boring for you, but I feel like it will be good for me to vent about it. Honestly, like, I'm not that choked about it, I'm okay, but I just feel like sometimes things that bother us make for good stories. So my number one pet peeve, probably almost in the world, is flaky people. And I have countless stories, especially here in Vancouver, where I am told it is a very big problem. It might be a West Coast thing, because I hear it's kind of a problem in, like, LA as well. So, the most recent story I have is about a guy who Taryn and I were becoming friends with, and I was really excited to be friends with him because he seemed like a really cool person, and it's kind of hard to find people that are really cool like that, you know, that you really jive with, especially as I'm, like, getting older and my standards are getting higher, and I realize that, like, some people, as nice as they are, you just don't have anything in common with. So, I think we met this guy while we were out one night, and we saw him again a couple times, and then we added each other's contacts and became friends. And what happened? So he expressed interest in hanging out, and we did. We followed up with that, and the first few times it was like, it was always me messaging him, being like, hey, what are you up to? Like, I wasn't even inviting him to hang out. I was just like, hey, what's up? And he'd be like, oh my gosh, we're just about to go see a movie. You should come with us. It's in 5 minutes. And I was like, and so we actually went. We were like, okay, I mean, whatever. Like, I appreciate the invite, even though it was like, obviously he wasn't thinking of us until I messaged him, but like, whatever, we just met. That's fine. So this happened a couple more times where I would reach out and be like, hey, what's up? And he'd be like, oh my gosh, we're about to do this. Come do this with us. And then, so again, that was all well and good, but eventually it's like, you cannot be the only one doing this. Trying to make things work in a friendship, you have to also have them be reaching out to you as well. So after a while, I was like, hey, like, do you want to come to our house? And then so we can, like, hang out and actually talk and get to know you. And so that didn't work, because every single time we tried, it would be like... Now, I understand that life happens and things don't always work. I get that. Like, it happens to me, it happens to everyone, but I think there's a certain way that you should behave when you are canceling on someone. And the way to do that is not to wait until an hour after you're supposed to have met up. And not only that, but I had to message him. I was like, hey, where are you? Like, what's going on? Like, you were supposed to be here an hour ago. And he was like, oh, sorry, like, I'm with my friend and she has a concussion, so she's just, like, lying on my bed. And I was like, okay, fair enough, but, like, a heads up would have been nice. And, so I kind of let it go for a little while, let it cool off, and then I think it was, like, 2 weeks later or something, I tried again. And this time, I made sure to follow up, like, every single day leading up to the actual planned hangout, because I've had experiences in the past where people will be like, oh, well, you didn't message me again yesterday, so I just thought it wasn't still happening. Like, as if somehow I'm supposed to message you every single day until it happens. So anyways, so that's what I did this time. Every single day, I think we made the plan on Wednesday, and then it was like, Thursday, I was like, are we still good for this weekend? Friday, I was like, are we still good for this weekend? Like, does tonight work? It's like, no. So Saturday comes, I was like, does tonight work? And he was like, no. So Sunday comes, I was like, well, no, Saturday, I was like, okay, what about tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday, are you free then? And he was like, yeah, totally. So Sunday during the day, message him, I was like, are we still on for tonight? And he was like, yeah, for sure. And then a little bit later, I was just like, okay, we're just having dinner, like, are you still good for tonight? And he was like, yeah. After dinner, message him, like, well, past the time when I would have expected him to like tell me he was free. And then I was like, so are you still coming? And he was like, I'm just like talking to this guy and we're like having a really good conversation and I think we're gonna have sex. And that was his message. No, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, change of plan. Like, yeah, I just think we're gonna have sex. As an explanation for why we are no longer hanging out. So, at this point, I'm just like, okay, this is a little weird. I don't really appreciate being treated like that. And Taryn thinks I'm being a little bit harsh, but I'm just like, I've dealt with people like this for so many years that I just, like, I have a limit. And this whole time, it's been mostly me. There was one time he invited us over, and it was like, without me texting him first. One time he invited us over, and we went, but it was like really last minute. It was like 8 o'clock at night already, and he was inviting us over, which makes me think that he probably had someone else bail on him and was just like, "Oh, you guys come instead," and which I'm totally fine with. Like if something doesn't work out and you're thinking of me, like that's fine, that's awesome, like good. But that was the only time, and every other single time that we tried to make a plan to have him over, he just flaked, and then, you know, I'm having sex with someone, see you another, like, as if you can't do that any other time. Like, come on. So Taryn thinks I'm being harsh, but I personally, it's not like I'm like cutting him out of my life or anything. I'm just like not gonna put in the effort anymore like that. If he wants to hang out, he can make the effort. Like, I'm not holding a grudge. This isn't like a big deal. I'm not like losing sleep over it. But just in my opinion, like that was my line. And I just don't have the extra energy to keep trying when every single time like we make space for you and then you wait until like an hour after you're supposed to be there to be like, for me to message you and be like, oh, sorry, I'm not even sorry, just, oh, I'm having sex with someone, I'm not coming anymore. So I don't know, what do you guys think? To me, I put in my fair share of effort. There was a time in the past when I would wait for people to talk to me, and then I realized that that doesn't always work. You have to actually put in the effort. So I feel like I put in a reasonable amount of effort, and then this is a pretty clear sign. Even though I genuinely believe that he does like us and he does enjoy hanging out with us, if he's not going to put in the effort, if anyone's not going to put in the effort for you, I just don't think it's worth trying to be friends with them. Unless, like, you're really desperate or something, I don't know. But, so, yeah, this has actually, unfortunately, been such a common experience for me. I have, like, 100 other stories like this, and each one with their own, like, crazy twist. And I just, a couple years ago, I was losing my mind about it. Like, when I moved here, especially, like, trying to make friends with people was so hard. Because, like, I know so many people. Everyone thinks, like, oh, you must just be able to hang out with, like, anybody because you know, like, hundreds of people. And I'm like, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. People are so flaky. And I mean, I do believe it's a human thing, but I also believe that it's a generational thing. And I think this generation, my generation and the generation coming up after me is really bad for it. And I think people need a bit of a lesson in etiquette, because I'm not saying you can't change plans or bail, but like I think there's a certain way to do it that's respectful and doesn't waste people's time, or at least apologize. So yeah, I have like a ton more experiences like that, and I don't know, maybe if I think of a really crazy one, I'll share it with you. So that's what I wanted to get off my chest today. It makes me feel better to vent. Hopefully it wasn't too boring for you. Yeah, this was day 3 of the vlogging for 31 days, and I will have to come up with many more videos for this month. And actually, it's kind of fun. A little challenging, but it's fun. So if you haven't already, subscribed for more of me doing whatever the heck I'm going to come up with in the next rest of the month. And yeah, so have a good one, you guys, and I don't know, how do I end this video? Stay cool, stay in school, or don't, actually. If you hate school, don't say, you know what, different video. Talk to you later.